Big up Spurs fans, near and far. We're back with your boy Deji Spurs and my homeboy from the six, Zeus in the building. Zeus, it feels like an age. How have you been, bro?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Still here, repping Toronto, I guess. Yeah, we thought we were done with winter, but today I think literally the worst snowstorm of the season just hit. So shut down my weekend plans. But yeah, man, international break, bit of a slow one, but yeah, still come on, you Spurs, you get me.
Come on, you Spurs, bro. Look, I think there's been a lot that's happened since the last show. In the last show, we made some predictions. I have to say, in the 4 games, we managed to get 2 wins and 2 defeats. We lost to Wolves, we lost to Fulham, we beat Villa, and we beat Palace. For me, it's a middle ground, and we talked about the fact that Spurs needed to get at least 9 points or more to kind of maintain the kind of run that we were on. So just quickly, Zeus, I just want to get your reflection on the last 4 games. Is it a disaster? Is it, we should take it 6 points out of 12, we're in the middle? Or actually, should we take it for what it is? It's a rebuild season, and maybe we should see it a lot more positive than other people are giving us credit, because people are trolling us online. People are saying it's a disaster, Spurs season done, blah, blah, blah. But the truth is, we can still get Champions League football. So how do you rate the last 4 games?
I mean, it's back to my first when I started my first prediction. You guys got me hyped talking about all these other things, but literally I said all I wanted: good football. That's it. Like, just make sure the manager is right. That's confirmed. Manager is right. And that's what it is. It's a rebuilding season. And he's way ahead of schedule. And he's always said there's going to be some issues for sure. There's going to be some good times. There's going to be some bad times. So, and that's just this is just the period, right? He's still learning the league and a lot of things that he himself, Ange, has to learn about the team and that kind of stuff. The Wolves lost, whatever. Like, that's all good. It's the Fulham. I mean, the manner of the defeat. Like, I don't think they deserve to win 3-0, but that's the most surprising one. Like, why couldn't we get up for it, kind of thing. Like, I feel Wolves definitely got lucky. Like, to me, it seemed like a lot of stuff they did, everything just went in. But that's the game that hurts me the most, the Wolves one. That we should have, I don't know, gotten something out of that game. Oh, we should have won that game. It's Wolves. So next season, like a result like that's unacceptable. This season, okay, it's a blip, but overall,
we got slapped by Wolves twice this season. That's the truth.
Wolves, yes, but I mean the first game was kind of like lucky. That was lucky. They that in terms of they scored like 2 90th minute goals, or whatever.
Yeah.
But the Fulham one, that's like, what happened, man? Like, that's the one. That can happen. That can't happen going forward. We got to be mashing those teams, like kicking to the side, kicking to the curb, every time.
So can I ask you, Zeus, then? Because for me, I did kind of like a review of the Fulham game, and what I found was that I was disappointed that we lost to Wolves. The Crystal Palace game wasn't great either. The only game that we actually played well in the last 4, I would say, was the Villa game. That game, it was tense in the first half, and then we kind of turned up second half, and we really stuck it on them, and they got slapped up. To be honest, we won 4-0. I was saying actually that I think it's a mentality issue, not even a player issue with Spurs, because, like you said, we just couldn't get it up. We just couldn't get it up for the Fulham game. And is that concerning for you, especially in the business end of the season? It's more about your mentality than your skill set, in my opinion. When you look at Arsenal, if Arsenal are to bottle it, if Arsenal are to flop this season, it's not because they're not good enough to win the league, but maybe they're not mentally strong enough to win it. Do you see similar issues with us? Do you think it's a mentality problem? Are we weak mentally as a team? Because Why? How? Even Postecoglou was lost for words. Like, how do you turn up to Fulham? How do you not turn up to Fulham? They looked like they were raving all night, and then from the rave they came straight to the game.
Yeah.
I mean, is that? I mean, yeah. Give me your thoughts on that real quick.
I think it's mentality, but I think it was overconfidence. Like we smashed up Villa 4-0, and everyone's like, "Yeah, we're just gonna kick on." And then I don't know, maybe the boys just thought eventually we're gonna start, banging in the goals. But definitely weren't at it in the first half. And I think that's what it was. To be fair, the first half against Villa wasn't great. We scored 2 goals. Yeah, we went up, and then McGinn got sent off, and then we scored 2 more. So we haven't played weren't fantastic in the Villa game, but definitely the second game, the Fulham game, I think it was overconfidence. Like I thought that was going to be a write-off, and bang, we're just gonna finish him. We're going to do him. But the good thing, like I said, this is still the first season of Ange's reign. He's seeing things. He's learning about teams. He's other teams, the opposition. He's learning about our players and the limitations of some of them. Right, that's one thing that's been not baffling me, but in terms of I don't know when next season. I don't know what area of the pitch is pressing. And maybe I should ask, I don't know if I can ask this now, but maybe apart from the left wing, maybe Timo Werner, it's we're not sure, does he stay? Can we upgrade that? But apart from that, to me, the first 11 looks pretty good. What do we do in the off season? And I might be jumping the gun. What do you think?
No, look, I agree, and I'm glad you raised that, because one of the things that I wanted to see with you, and I know that you are probably more conservative as a Spurs fan than me, but I've been saying since we last met that I think our first 11 is on par with City, Liverpool, and Arsenal. I think we go toe-to-toe with those 3 clubs in particular. But look, you can lose a game of football. Even the best teams in the world lose games of football. The Brazils of this world, France of this world, Real Madrid, Man City, we will all have off days. Are you basically saying that you think Tottenham's first 11... Are you saying you think we've sorted out our squad, or what are you saying? Because it sounds like you're pretty happy with our first 11.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's good. We have good players. They're still learning. Son, bang on, world class. In the middle, number 10, Madison, when he's on, up there. Sa, Bissouma, who else is in there? Bentancur, Bissouma. They're very, they're very, very good. Maybe they're not world class, but they're very good on their day, kind of thing.
Would you say on par with? I mean, they're good. Sorry, let me let you finish. Go on, I'll let you finish.
Yeah. I think, and the back line, Romero, always rated him a bit of a hothead. He seems to have cooled that now. Van Ven, top notch. Actually, my brother was in the UK and he saw the Palace game, and he's like, yeah, that guy's he's legit. He's a Liverpool fan too, so that was nice to hear. Then the wing, Porro and Udogie, very good players, and Udogie's still young and he's learning, so he's only going to push on. So maybe just the left wing is the only, can we upgrade? Can we get a better finisher than Werner, I guess, if he doesn't stay? So that's maybe the only area. But other than that, man, this is a first 11 that could win the league.
Boy, Zeus, hearing that from your mouth is music to my ears, because I get trolled by Arsenal fans who tell me, how can he say that Tottenham can go toe-to-toe? And I said, look, our first 11, I don't really see a weakness. I think Richarlison's done a good job. I know you don't like Richarlison. But Son, Cooley, I think Cooley's being played. I mean, I guess for me, what I've learned about Tottenham so far, and we're really going to get into it, what I've learned, I think I agree with you, is very much a test and learn season. I think the difference that the Liverpool, Man City's, Arsenal have over Spurs is that they've been with their squad so long that when they have adversity, they know how to change it up. When Liverpool went down to 9 men against us, they looked stronger. They could have beaten us quite easily, even with 9 men, because Klopp's been with that squad long enough to know if this adversity happens, this is the change that he's going to make. Whereas with us, Postecoglou doesn't know the team well enough, and how could he? He's only been there 5 minutes to make the right changes. So for me, I thought it was naive, if I could say that he played Ben Davis and Emerson Royale, especially Ben Davis on the wing in the Wolves game. That was a killer. You know, up against Pedro Neto, it was going to be a nightmare for him. And then for me, I guess the other thing that I've seen in the last 3 or 4 games, and some Spurs fans have criticized this, saying that Postecoglou doesn't have a plan B, but the changes he makes are they're kind of the same. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of obvious that you're going to bring on Brennan Johnson and you're going to bring on Timo Werner, and they're going to play, one's going to be on the right, one's going to be on the left. I almost feel like our style of play is becoming a bit predictable. Why we were able to start so well at the beginning of the season was because this Orange Ball was still new. But you know, in the best league in the world, they've got loads of backroom staff studying the system, breaking it down, putting it to pieces. And now it's not a surprise anymore. So, I mean, for you, would you agree with what I'm saying? And what have you learned as well so far this season about our team and Postecoglou and the way that he sets us up?
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of pundits have been pointing it out. What after Ange Ball, like there's some guys who are tactical geniuses that if a team shows up with like a 4-4-2 diamond, they know what he can see it on the fly and come up with something crazy mid game and just everything changes. With us, I don't think he's there in his managerial tactical nous. So yeah, it's a bit worrying that Ange Ball seems to be being found out. It doesn't seem like he's like a tactical guru genius type, one of these. Which is a bit worrying, but at the same time, it might be a level that he has to personally grow to reach in the league. Maybe he didn't see that kind of. He's won everywhere he's been, right? So now that he's in the Prem, he's like, okay, these are better managers. Hopefully, he can grow as a manager himself and start to. Him and his team are saying, okay, why didn't we play? What can we do? Like, you know, you watch the footage, you watch the film, and then you say, what can we do so that these teams don't mess with us? Oh, that's right. We play well. We win. What do we do when a team nullifies Ange Ball and the inverted wingback system? And someone there, I think it was Wayne Hennessy. You know what? Actually, I kind of take that back. Like with what I said about Fulham, like they were exploiting the wings a lot, like the spaces behind the wingers. So they definitely had a plan that was working for them, and we didn't seem to have one that worked for us. So yeah, good call.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I love Postecoglou. I love what he's done. I feel like he's brought the respect back to Spurs. You know, one of the big reasons why I've been dissing the kind of Carabao Cup, FA Cup was because in our pursuit for these trophies, we lowered our standards and we got slapped up and we became a laughing stock. But actually, when you think about the bigger prize, the top fours, the Champions League, the Premier Leagues, under Pochettino, we were very much respected as a football club. Now, for me, the only thing I'm slightly concerned about with Orange Ball for next season, and I'm hoping we can have see something maybe not so different, is I just feel like Postecoglou is all or nothing. It's a little bit like the Amazon Prime series, All or Nothing, which is that it's either he goes for broke and that is it. And I do think every manager has shown that you can't just go for broke. Sometimes you're just going to have to just play it dirty. Sometimes you're going to have to play a system that you don't like in order to get the job done. And if that's the case, then so be it. Do you get what I'm saying? But do you think, I mean, the thing is, he's true to himself. He's true to his cause. There is an argument, though, because Aston Villa did exactly what I just said. Rather than playing their usual system, they went with like 5 at the back. You know, they just completely changed it up in a way to try and nullify Spurs, and it bit them in the ass. Yeah. So I almost feel like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. But as a Spurs fan, what would you prefer our gaffer to do? Do you want him to just stay true to to his identity, true to his DNA, or does he have to kind of maneuver based on the opposition that we're playing against?
I think he said right that the Chelsea game, like everything's the Chelsea game, high line down to 9 men, still doing that, and that's it, right? That was a big thing, and he knows that it's crazy to play, a high line with that with just 9 men, but he wanted to really instill that DNA, and I think that's what it is. Like I think he believes, I'm sure, like he knows that he's going to be there for another season, but having that mentality of like we're not afraid to stick to the way we train, the way we play, etc., etc. I think that's good to have. Like I said, everything is this is the first season. It's okay to try things or to be a bit unconventional. All we needed to know is that the manager is not. It's not a Nuno type of situation. That this guy is actually good, and he has some what's the word, right phrase? He has some goodwill in the tank because of how we started. Now we can be a little bit unorthodox, which is like playing 9 men when playing a high line when there's only 9 men and whatnot, right? So
Yeah.
he's still learning, but he's proven that his system works. That's I think the biggest thing. His system works.
I agree.
Trust him. Like sometimes you have to trust the manager, and I trust him that he's knows what he's doing with this first season, and he's going to learn. And he's always said there's going to be some highs, there's going to be some lows. It's going to take me time to really learn. He's always said that. So I'm sticking with him, and he knows what he's doing. That's what my final point. He knows what he's doing.
I agree. Big up to everyone in the chat, in the building. Yido N, Wayne Hennessy, AFC Always, Social 101. All of you people, big up for you being there. Destiny 5, LMS Live, big up, big up. So I want to get through some of the comments. I see it. Well, one of the questions is it all boils down to whether Daniel Levy will back the manager. That's Destiny. Yeah, I think my opinion is I think Daniel Levy backed him this time. Otillo says, Deji, will you shake your bum violently if you beat us in the North London derby? If I tell you when I will shake my bum violently, you know, I'm sure you've seen it, Artillero, that I predicted that I see Arsenal losing 3 games. I see Arsenal losing against Man City. I see Arsenal losing to Spurs. If Arsenal lose to Man City and then Arsenal lose to Spurs, I'll be shaking my bum violently. Yes, I will. Because it looks like my prediction will be coming to pass. And those of you who've been watching me long enough know what I'm thinking in the back of my head, what I think is all to play for. So, yes, the violentness will be coming out of my club. Just quickly, I got another question. He says, you have been classed. So Social 101 says, you have to be classed as a successful club to say you're rebuilding, or to what are you rebuilding from? Club has failed for decades upon. Zeus, do you want to answer that first before I answer that?
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
I kind of disagree with Social 101. For me, a rebuild means that you're kind of your best team, your generational team, they've come to an end. There's always a nutrition rate in football. When Tottenham was under Pochettino, Pochettino told us the year that we got to the Champions League final that Tottenham would need a painful rebuild. And he stressed the word painful. In order to keep Tottenham competitive, we would need to spend and we would need to cull the squad that we had. That was ignored by Daniel Levy, and the disaster that Pochettino had predicted came to pass. That's why, for Spurs fans, Pochettino will always be a legend, because he told us what was lying ahead. He told us what the day after tomorrow would look like, and it came to pass. Unlike Arsenal, who we know what they did last summer. So, for me, that is a rebuild when that team has a nutrition. Liverpool, you know they're going to lose Salah soon. They're going to lose, they lost Mane. They had to rebuild their midfield this season. That's a rebuild. Their midfield is a rebuild. Tottenham, we're going to have to build an attacking force that doesn't have Son. You know, we've lost Kane already. You know, we rebuilt our defense. In fact, we built our midfield. So those are rebuilds. When Arsenal lose Martinelli and Saka, you're going to be rebuilding. You're going to be finding new players to take their positions. So that is what I call. I don't think you necessarily. And success is relative. For me, under the Pochettino era, Tottenham were successful. Maybe we didn't win any trophies, but we were getting regular Champions League football. We got to a Champions League final. And it was during that era that Tottenham became a big six. So for me, that is success in itself. Had Pochettino not delivered the goods at Spurs, okay, he didn't win a trophy, but he you know, we were respected. We were feared. People were fearing us all around the world. Then we wouldn't be having this conversation. We wouldn't be coming out with chess. We wouldn't be part of the big six. So I think it's all relative. Arsenal fans will tell you they were successful just winning the Community Shield. Now, for me, the Community Shield is as dusty as Tutankhamun's coffin. I won't be shaking my bum for a Community Shield, but we have Arsenal fans shaking their bum for that trophy. So for me, it's all relative. But Zeus, your thoughts on whether we are rebuilding or should we name it something else?
Yeah, we are, because remember that we, you know, the philosophy was, I think from Daniel Levy's philosophy, it was like we have to win. He tried. He went away from, you know, attacking managers and let's bring in a big game manager who've won things, Jose Conte, and let's see if we can win, or you know how things go with that approach. And it failed. Like, I guess it failed, even though Jose was close to winning a trophy and, you know, lost the gig before that. But, you know, but the club was in disarray. Like, it was horrible, right? So that was a failure. So that's what we're rebuilding from: a style, an approach, a style, sense of play, all that kind of stuff. So now it's like, let's really focus on playing good, attractive football. And what happens with that? Let's try and win that way. So that's the rebuild. Like, and you know, it takes time. It takes time to separate, wash ourselves off the stink of Conte and Jose. So yeah, to who was it? Social 101. There's your rebuild.
Yeah, I just want to answer two questions before I give you my next question, which is the first question coming from AFC Always. The big up to AFC always in the building. He says, Deji, raise your standards and demand more from your dusty football club. I am demanding more. That's why I say I want Champions League or Premier League. It don't get any better than that. It's you guys that are quite happy to take Carabao Cup, FA Cup, and then lie to us and pretend that by winning those trophies, it somehow does something with one's psyche. That is a load of bollocks and hogwash. So I am demanding more of my club. I am asking for the big boy prizes. I'm saying Spurs could finish in the top three. I'm saying Spurs next season could be challenging. And you heard the same from Zeus. In fact, we are all feeling it because we are expecting big things from our club. It's you guys that want to be putting us down, but we ain't listening to you. Now, Artilero, aka the painter, is telling me this. We were successful because we were winning league titles. Smarten up, bro. Yeah, you were winning league titles in 2003. Since 2003, Artilero, what league title have you won?
20 years.
So tell me about your success. Where's Arsenal's success? What, you're going to reel out FA Cups? Every year that passes by, the FA Cups get even more irrelevant. So if you're going to be telling me about the dusty FA Cups and Community Shields that you've been winning, is that success? Is that what you're shaking your bum for? Is that what you're wearing? Some little red thong from Ann Summers down the street and you're just shaking your bum violently? Really, Artilero? Me? I'd rather not, mate. That is shameless. You want to call me shameless? That is shameless. I'm not having that. You, Artilero, should have bigger standards for your club. You should be expecting your club to bring on the trophy this season. And if you don't, it's an absolute disgrace. However, though, I will say this. Arsenal were dusty in season one. They finished 8th. Then they finished 8th again. I think they had a 5th place finish. And then last year, we all know what happened last year. And this year, in theory, they've given Arteta time. They've given him 5 years to be able to get to where they are. And on one hand, you've got to respect the faith because Daniel Levy showed no faith. Pochettino had 3 bad months, and despite all the success he brought to our club, they got rid of him. So the question I ask you, Zeus, at this point is, how much time, let's say Postecoglou doesn't win anything next season, how much time can we give Postecoglou realistically? And what is the minimum standard? What is the minimum you're expecting of him in order to stay in the job?
So I had it like first season, play good football, get football right. Second season, win a trophy, one of the small ones like League Cup, Carling Cup, something like that. Even FA.
When?
Yeah.
So win what within the next win?
Next season. Next season. So
you've got to win a trophy next season. Has to, no matter how small.
I mean, I look at it as a natural progression. Football, small trophy, big trophy, compete for something like that. So I would say, like, my expectations for next season are to win something, right? That's my expectation. The season after, then it's something major. So we're talking Prem or champs.
In the third year.
In the third year. I don't know if Europa is, I don't know where you put Europa at that point, but definitely a major trophy in the third season, like the big boy trophies in the third season, to be competing for those.
So, but a big boy trophy would be Premier League or Champions League, or are you going to put the Europa League as a big boy trophy?
I mean, it's a European trophy, so it's nothing necessarily sniff at, but just to make it easy, I'll say third year we should be competing for the big boy trophies. Like, we should be in there, like a legitimate threat to win a big boy trophy.
Okay.
Prem, we should be challenging at the top of the league. We should be considered as title contenders. That's for my third season for sure.
I mean, Zeus, that's a bold statement. I mean,
man.
I don't think Arsenal were challenging in the first year, were they?
Then if
were Liverpool challenging in the third year under Klopp?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. I think for me, maybe I agree. I mean, you know me. If we win the Carabao Cup, I won't be shaking my bum. That for me is like winning no trophy, in my opinion. But in order to kind of quieten down the naysayers, I don't think it quietens down any naysayers. I think, yes, I agree, some sort of dusty trophy like the Carabao Cup. But I think in whatever Postecoglou does, we have to be getting minimum top 4. For me, next season, if he gets top 4 this year or top 5, we've got to be going top 4. I think he's shown that he's got the skills and he's capable enough, but Tottenham's too big a club to be outside of the top 4. If we get a trophy, great. But I would take top 4 again next season without a trophy. I still would say give Postecoglou time. Not that, no, he doesn't lose his job though. If we get top 4 next season without a trophy, should Postecoglou lose his job?
Top 4 next season
without a trophy?
Depends. If we are challenging for the top of the league, hold on. If we're challenging for the top of the league, no. If we just kind of I need progression, some sign of progression. So this year we might make champs, which actually I'm not shaking my bum if we will get top 4 this season, because we're gonna go into the competition like Champs League, and we have chance of winning it. We're not gonna be competitive, essentially, right? So I was actually okay with going into
you don't think Spurs can be competitive in the Champions League next season?
No, that's too soon.
You reckon?
I don't think so, man.
I think Europe is dusty, bro. I think the European teams are as dusty as Tutankhamun's coffin.
I don't know about all that.
Arsenal. I expect Arsenal to get to the semi-final, not because Arsenal's that good, but because the European teams are that dusty, bro. Sandstorms getting in our eyes. They're that rubbish.
Yeah, I don't know about.
So you don't think Okay, go on. Sorry, because I kind of stopped you there.
You got your Real Madrids. Um, Bayern Munich's. Like those teams. Like yeah,
They're
you
dusty,
know,
man. Bayern Munich's dusty, bro.
with
They're crap,
any,
bro. Bro, Leverkusen's going to win the league after the international break. They just got to win one more game and they've won the league, bro. Bayern Munich is as dusty as Tutankhamun's coffin.
yeah,
Like,
but
legitly.
nah, man, I really think I think it would have been it might be better for us to go to Europa next season, and because we have a stronger chance of winning that. Like you have to, yeah, we have a very strong chance of winning that, right? So I was okay with, looks like we will get fifth, but to be honest, sixth, seventh, I'm okay with, man, because it's like we're going to go into a competition that we can win or have a higher chance of winning. That's yeah.
Okay. Can I just ask a quick question? And I want everyone in the chat, big up to everyone here. Which trophy carries more weight? Winning the Europa League or the FA Cup? Because people want to tell me about the FA Cup. Arsenal fans will be chatting about it. Arteta won the FA Cup in his first season. I think that was Artillero. One of these guys was kind of just putting it out there, or social 101. Which trophy would you prefer? Would you prefer FA Cup or lifting up a Europa League? Zeus, I'm going to throw that to you. I think you know what I'm already thinking, but I'll throw it to you.
I think I'm going to go Europa because it's European, right? You're on the continent. You're playing different teams. Some really good teams, right? Like Sevilla is like they always win in Europa, and they're like highly rated, right? Yeah. Some you might get some, well-established clubs like maybe not Barcelona this year, but sometimes you might get some of the really big teams to slip into that. So the competition level, right? And FA Cup. How many games FA Cup? Is it 3 or 4?
FA Cup, six games, I think.
6 games. You skip around here and there. So I'm not so big on the. Yeah, I'll definitely say Europa. Even the argument could be made that the European Conference League is on the same level or is ahead of the FA Cup, right? Because again, it could be.
The European Conference League is fully dusty. I'm not even sure. Like I got West Ham fans shaking their bum, and then Arsenal fans will be telling me, when they're rating Pape Sarr and they're talking about Basmati rice, they'll say to me, "What has Pape Sarr won?" And I laugh and I look at them and I go, "What has Basmati won? Really? Like, what has he won? What Europa Conference League?" You know what? I'm gonna say, I might have to agree with you. I've not even thought about it. This is the first time that someone's thrown this question to me, and I'm shell-shocked. I think I prefer the FA Cup to the Europa Conference League. I think I agree.
That's fair. But what about the Europa to the FA Cup? Where do you stand on that one?
I think the Europa League is better than the FA Cup.
Yeah.
But the FA Cup is better than the Europa Conference League.
Okay, cool.
So for me, I think the pinnacle is
Prem or Champs. Which one?
I think the Prem or Champs is the same.
Okay.
I can't separate them. If you're going to rank trophies, Prem, Champs are side by side. I think it's as good as each other. Some will say the Prem is harder because it's 38 games. I say bollocks. I say the Champions League is just as prestigious as winning the Prem. Whichever one you win is respectable. Yeah.
Fair enough. Same level.
Then second is Europa League. Third is FA Cup. Fourth, Europa Conference League. And then fifth is the Carabao Cup. I think in that order. And you will never hear me utter the Community Shield. These Arsenal fans shaking their bum and uploading pictures on Instagram for the Community Shield. That will never, ever happen from me. So that's the order that I would rate. But look, everyone in the chat, it'd be good to know because all these people want to lie. It's a trophy, it's a trophy. The truth is, with trophies, there are levels to trophies.
Yeah.
And the higher the trophy, the more respect that you gain. Almost like a weight coefficient. For example, I was talking about FIFA rankings just yesterday with a guy called Dan Potts, and I was saying that if you beat Brazil and you beat Belgium, even if it's a friendly, it carries weight in the FIFA rankings, especially if you want to be in the top 5 in the world. Winning the Carabao Cup carries no weight. There's no point, like the Eurovision Song Contest. You know what I'm saying? For me, it's Europa League, Prem, Champions League. Those are the 3 trophies you got to be aiming for, in my opinion.
I just want to give a shout out to Destiny 5, who reminded us that Arsenal spent 600 million in 5 years to finish above Spurs. Shout out to Destiny 5.
That big up to Destiny 5. We need to get you on the show. That's sort of facts and material that we need for people like Social 101 and his twin brother Atilero. You get me? 600 mil to finish above Spurs, and then you guys want to be shaking your bum in the chat in your underwear, blue underwear from Tesco. Come on, guys. You need to be serious with the fan in your face. Anyway, we're moving on quickly. So, just quickly before we deal with the last 5 kind of fixtures. Look, I've got another question. The question is, what does Spurs need to do to be able to do what you mentioned, to win the cup? Now, for me, obviously, we're going to be purchasing. I think Scott Munn released a video this week on the Spurs TV channel talking about Spurs going to Australia pre-season, around May, but also that we're going to be doing business in the summer, and that they're already working behind the scenes.
He said that?
Looking, yes, yeah, he's kind of alluding to it. They're gonna buy players. They're already looking. They're already doing the work. Yeah, he's pretty much said that. What would you like to see come in for Spurs to reinforce our team, to make us even more competitive, to make us kick on from where we are?
I mean, I that's what I said. The first 11, I don't know. Like, is there anyone that's like glaring, like a left-sided midfielder? Like maybe I haven't seen a lot of Solomon, right? But he's been injured and looks like he's going to miss the whole season. So something. So
he's good enough.
I don't know. He never had a chance, right? So I don't know. Does he get sold, like moved on for profit right away? We maybe buy Werner and then they bring in someone on the left. No. It's Werner as a backup. Okay. I think is okay.
Yeah,
right? Yeah. As a backup, right? So now we have to start thinking about the second team. Like their upgrades can be made, like your Emerson Royals, maybe Ben Davis, those kind of guys. But the first 11 looks good. Like there's you
wouldn't upgrade the first 11. You wouldn't make some slight tweaks in the first 11. I mean, you don't like Richarlison. Wouldn't you want to see like
He's definitely on the bench for me, right?
So who comes in instead of Richarlison?
So maybe as a bench player, I'm okay with Richarlison. But maybe Richarlison gets sold off to like Saudi or something for like big bear cash, and then you can bring in who's a good number 9 or a striker that I don't know. Yeah, no one's really jumping out at me like that, man.
Yeah.
Wait, who are the number?
Well, for me,
maybe a Tony, but I don't. That would be a good backup. Like that's like okay, they're really making moves, so something like that. But from the first 11, I think who's the? I think it's the Wolves left winger. Like is it? I want to say Pedro Neto, right? Yeah, so I've heard about someone like him, but he does get injured quite a bit. But he's good when he plays. So something like that, right? So I think stays. Like Destiny 5 said we need a star striker, but I was just thinking that to me, Son is still doing the job. He's the world's best finisher, right? So
big up to you. Hold on, I just want to pick up on the chat. Artillero says Destiny 5, you're talking like you won the UCL, you won the smaller European trophies as well. You both okay. How did you spend to have 100,000 more fans for American football just to say you're the biggest club in the mate? The assembled, you know better than to make such a rubbish statement like that. Tottenham is building from the ground up, unlike the Man Cities, the Chelseas of this world, who literally bought their way to success. You should have a little bit of respect because Arsenal also are a club that built themselves from the ground up. So building a business strategy to be able to afford to bring in more players and to be competitive is something to be lauded and respected. And the fact that we haven't been challenged with any FAP means that you need to put some respect on my homeboy Daniel Levy, because we out here doing clean business, baby. Unlike some of these dusty clubs that want to put their hands deep in their pockets and doing some shady, dodgy deals. And need I say more? So let's just keep it real. Building from the ground up is to be respected. You guys are in the same boat. So just hush and relax. What I would say, though, in answer to you, Zeus, is that I think our front three is a bit dusty, bro.
Okay.
I think we can really maneuver. So first and foremost, I don't like Kulusevski on the right anymore. I think Kulusevski's best performances have been when he's played the number 10. And I would like to see Postecoglou next season mix it up between Kulusevski and Madders for the number 10 position, especially if we're playing European football. There's, because of this one game a week, he's having to kind of squeeze it in. But with more European games and a bit of a kind of domestic competition, you know, maybe a good run in the FA Cup, I would like to see Kulusevski play that 10 role. I would like to see Tottenham bring in a Neto. We need an out-and-out winger. But for me, I think Neto, if he was to come in, I think he comes in on the left-hand side. Because for me, we Spurs fans, we need to start preparing for the day that Son is no longer with us. Maybe too old, not able to do his thing. He's a legend, but let's start to bring the successor to Son in. And I think the successor to Son is Neto. Though he's not the marksman as Son, I just think the danger that he brings. If not Neto, then Eze from Crystal Palace needs to be somebody that we need to.
He's good.
Then on the other side, I think we need to bring in a Rafinha. You know, I just want two flying wingers. Even if we were, I mean, it's not going to happen. But if we brought in Olise and Eze on our two wings, God damn, Tottenham would be dangerous, because I think that's the sort of thing that we need in our team. And then, yes, we need a direct competition for Richarlison. I do think, though, in a strange way, Richarlison and Tony are kind of similar. The one thing I will say is that maybe Ivan Toney is better on the ball in terms of the hold-up play. But when you think about it, they're both airheads. And I mean that in a positive way. Both like the ball in the air, you know, can get headed goals, that kind of thing. So do we go for an Ivan Toney, or do we go for someone who's a bit more raw with pace? You know, I would have liked an Ollie Watkins at Tottenham, just something different, you know, just a different style of striker. But if we can't, yeah. So I just think the front three, I just don't like how it is. It feels clunky. We've been fortunate to get the goals that we've got, but something needs to change there.
Okay, so you're saying front three. Neto is
Isak. Destiny's right. I'll take Isak all day long.
In the middle?
Isak or Nunes suits Spurs. I'll take Nunes at Spurs.
Wait, as what number? Number 9?
As the main number 9. I'll take Nunes or Isak.
Okay, so you know you're gonna have to get a lot of the. Okay, wait, what's happening to Son here? Is he staying or is he going?
Son is staying for next season, but I think we need to start preparing if he isn't. So let's say Son is not available for whatever reason, then I would like to see Pedro Neto on the left.
Yeah. And
I would like to see Pedro Neto and Eze. If we could get those two wingers, I think it's long. I don't think Brennan Johnson is the guy yet.
Yeah,
he should be in the squad.
Straight, right?
He should be in the squad.
Yeah.
Timo Werner, we should send him back. Solomon, I'm not convinced by Solomon. Perisic is already gone.
Yeah.
And then I think we need legit backups to Udogie and Porro. I think Tottenham are looking at West Ham's Johnson. I think he's like a right back. I think that's a good shout. And also, if we could get like a Tariq Lamptey from Brighton to be like a backup to Udogie, something like that, that would work.
All right. I mean, a lot of this hinges on Kulusevski moving to the number 10 to be a backup number 10.
Yeah, I don't want him as right wing. I don't really want Kulusevski.
To be fair, he did say when he played as a number 10, I forget when he started, he said he felt alive when he played as a number 10, and when it first started happening after the big injuries and Madison got left, was injured for a while. So if that happens, I haven't really entertained that. So that's why I don't really, I know Postecoglou likes him, so I wasn't really ready to shift him. But maybe something. If that happens, then we can start looking at bringing in players like the Rafinhas and Elises and those kind of thing. But I mean, okay, if Richarlison leaves, you can someone like an Isak or Watkins to be a backup. That's not bad. Yeah, I mean, it sounds good, but this is a good setup. But yeah, again, everything hinges on, I guess, how Kulu is going to be used next season. Like
Well,
if he stays on the wing, no real chance for changes. If he doesn't, then we can now start bringing players in and see what happens.
Giant Rabbit says we'll be stuck with Werner, Kulu, Johnson, and Richarlison. I think Werner goes back. He was on loan. I don't think he's done enough to stay. Kulu, they like Kulu. Okay. Johnson, I think they're going to give him time to cook, especially Postecoglou. If he really likes him, I think he can be a squad player, man. I think he can be on the bench. Someone that comes on. He's not someone that should be starting.
He costs 45. There's no way they are prepping him to be a squad player. You can't. 45 million is not squad.
Yeah, player. But what I'm trying to say is, but that, to be honest, people like Brennan Johnson, if he's a squad player, that's what it takes to be a big club. If you can afford to put someone like him on the bench, honestly.
Man, I don't like that's giving me like Man City.
I'm not having people disrespect Richarlison though. I think he's done well. If Richarlison gets 15 goals this season, I think we have to put some respect on his name, and he's 5 goals shy of that.
So I get what you're saying. Like if you're spending 45 million for a squad player, it shows how big your club is, I guess. But I don't want. I want us to be financially savvy too, right? Like. I want us to be a club where we're not just buying the best player available and just splashing cash. It's like, okay, we have good scouts. Like I don't think you want to get away from that. Like that's what I'm saying. You don't want to start splashing cash anyhow. I know it's effective, as Man City have proven, but I would prefer to win on a budget, so to speak, like a smart club, as opposed to just buying our trophy and kind of like sullying it a little bit.
Well, I mean, that's what it takes to be at the top and start winning. But I hear what you're saying. So can I just deal with Social One-on-One and Artillero, because these two twin brothers are both sitting in the same room in their underwear, bashing away and fighting over the fan before they're typing away to try and get some questions and some comments in. Social One-on-One says, "Did you win something first before you talk with Chess?" Bro, how about you win something?
Yeah, man.
What have you won? And don't lie to me that you've won the FA Cup, because that is as dusty as Tutankhamun's coffin. We've established that this evening. If you're going to be shaking your bum for FA Cup football, then you are a dusty Arsenal fan, because you should be wanting more from your club. Because you are the one telling me in the chat, Arteta won the FA Cup, so I can win the FA Cup, bro. I can win. If Tottenham was in the FA Cup final, I'd be going to the stadium. I'd be going to Wembley for the burgers, mate. That's about it. Yeah? I'd be going for the burgers. Don't get it twisted. We want big things for our team. You're part of the so-called Big Six. Get a big boy trophy. So before I will talk with Chest until you do something bigger than Spurs. Winning the FA Cup is nothing to be proud about. And also, I'm defending my brother Destiny 5 in the building. Artillero, he says, talk to me when that bum can get 15 goals. Until then, shush it. But that bum that you're talking about is better than all your front three, bro. He's better than Nkiti Kati. He's better than Jesus. He's got more goals. So what are you talking about? Unless you're not talking about Richarlison. Which one of your main number 9s is going to get 15 goals this season? Exactly. Radio silence. Let's go. We move on. Okay, so Zeus, quickly though, before we get into the final little bit where we're looking at the next 4 or 5 games, the Arsenal fans ain't gonna like this, but Arteta or Postecoglou, who is the better manager? Because the way these guys shake their bum, I don't know what these lot are looking at. But be real, you're not like me. We're objective here. We do objective analysis. Please, I want to know. Oh, I like Adebayo though, Artillero. I like Adebayo. If you're talking about Adebayo from Luton, I really do like him. He's a player that Tottenham, him, Isak or Nunes, if Tottenham went for them, that would be hard. I think they could do a job. But bro, Arteta or Postecoglou?
Well, didn't Postecoglou win like manager of London, or what was it like that weird? That was a ridiculous trophy. But no, I think they are different stages of their career. But you have to admit, Arsenal are playing some sexy stuff, man. Like they're pumping teams, they're scoring goals, which is what consistently, which is what I like. Which is why I watch. So and just still learning his trade. First go around in the Premier League with the big boys. There've been some good performances, but I think Arteta is ahead of him, and literally because he has just more experience in the league, and he's proven to considerably more. He's proven that he knows what he's doing. Even like last season, even though they bottled it at the end, right? They still played well. So he's proven that he's a good manager. And in the toughest league in the world, right? Ange has to kind of get there.
Do Arsenal win the league? In your opinion? Because legitly, like they do look like they're not slowing down for anyone. Do they win the league in your opinion? Be honest, you can say, look, as a Spurs fan, it's looking kind of peak right now. You can be honest and come out with that kind of statement. Big up to Arsenal, man. Putting likes on the Spurs channel. Big up to you, my bro. Be real. Does Arsenal win? Do you think Arsenal is the best team in the country right now? Do you think they can win the league?
Winning the league, I just see the game against us. The North London Derby. That is sad to say. That is going to be our season final, so to speak. That's our trophy for like we're gonna be so up for that game. It's gonna be like the Battle of the Bridge, right? When Chelsea cost us effectively canceled all our titles. It's gonna be it's gonna be that level of intensity, and I think where our tails are gonna be way up for that game. And they will probably tend to lose their heads or something crazy. So I see them losing that game, and as I see us derailing their season, their title challenge. So I don't see them winning the league due to that game.
But do you think Arsenal? Okay, let me ask another question then. So you see them losing to Spurs. What about City? So after the international break, Arsenal play City. What do you think will happen there? And we saw what Arsenal have done this week. I mean, these guys talk about Spurs and not wanting to do this and that. These guys are shameless. Gabriel's removed himself from international duty because he's got a so-called knock. And Saka yesterday removed himself from his international duty because he's got... Arsenal players are putting club above country. What a disgrace. Only Arsenal players could do such disgraceful tactics where they are not repping their country. What? Shameless. People say we are shameless. That is shameless not to want to play against Brazil, not to want to play against Belgium. But Arsenal, Man City, what does your heart tell you? What does your head tell you?
I think the idea of they've done this before. I think that's going to settle in. Right? I can see the Arsenal players getting kind of tense. Arsenal they've bottled everything. Like anytime it's been tight, they bottle, right? And I don't see that changing. So City, it's like we've been here, we've done this. Okay, it's our time to shine. We're just going to keep on keeping on, right? So I expect it to be business as usual. Arsenal were kind of in the same way, bottled. They were in the same way, when Spurs were chasing top four, bottled. So I'm expecting same shit, bottled.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, me and you, we've not spoken for at least a month. But I was telling Arsenal fans this week that I know what they did last summer. And when I see Arsenal, I see the movie. You know what I mean? I really do see the movie with red shirts everywhere, So, the little American team getting out of bed in an Arsenal shirt, and she's had a little glass break in the house, and she goes down the stairs, and you're like, "Don't go down the stairs! Don't do it! Don't do it! The boogeyman is there!" And then you do it, and then you're like, "Damn it! You got caught! You got killed! Damn it!" That's what I see with Arsenal. But if Arsenal do beat City, then I think they've won the league. I'll be honest. It doesn't matter what we do at Spurs. I think we beat them anyway, regardless. But if they lose to City and lose to Spurs, then that's it. Their season's done. I can't see Arsenal recovering because just the players will be waking up in cold sweats of what happened last year, and they'll also be seeing the 10 green bottles nursery rhyme, in their mind, and then they just won't be able to play football. But I think it all hinges on the Man City game. Arsenal beat Man City, then I think they could probably go on and win the Premier League. And if they do, they deserve to win it. Big up to Destiny, in the building, because Destiny 5 is talking some sense. He's saying if Tottenham go for Polina, Isak and Neto, that would be good business. I agree. Get them three brothers right there. It's game on, because we don't really have a number 6 enforcer. Basuma's not that guy, He's disappointed me, to be honest. Bentancur is really a number 8. Papisar's at 8. So we don't really have a 6, to be honest. And I don't think that's Basuma's best role, but he's just trying to make it work. So we'll see. But I think that is a big shout. Get them 3 players, and that is some serious, serious business. The Assembled asked the question, Destiny, are you a Spurs fan? Let me answer that question for you, my brother. He is, or she is. Definitely a Spurs fan. Arsenal Malik saying, I'm trying to tease Dej, but he's not falling for the bait. Big up. Big up to you, man. Please, everyone, you're in the building. Make sure you smash a like. Obviously, we're bringing in other things here, not just the Spurs thing, but we're also talking about the whole title race and everything that's going on. He says, Deji, pack it in. You will turn into D Stallion if you win. You know what? Some of these comments, they do make me laugh. And someone, Artillero, is clearly some sort of American, because he's made reference to Steve Harvey at least 78 times so far on this stream. So I reckon, Artillero, that you could be Steve Harvey, but without the hair. That's what I think, Artillero. You're Steve Harvey without the hair. Zeus, let's get into it. Tottenham's next 5 games. Can we get it up on the screen? Let's get it up for everyone. The Hitman 55. This is Zeus.
That's me.
Here, you get me, Zeus?
Yeah, I was just responding to someone. I think I was responding to Artillero. He was making. He said something really funny. Oh yeah. When he said something about you going to the stadium for the burgers. Yeah, that was hilarious.
So Artillero says Postecoglou hasn't won shit. So Arteta. What is Arteta? Because Arteta's won an FA Cup. God damn. Artillero is gassed. He's gassed, man. Come on, man. Let's just be sensible here. And the Destroyer says Deji is objective and Kim Kardashian is a virgin. Whoa. How did you know? Are you working for some sort of entertainment live? I don't know. But anyway, cool. So Tottenham's next few games, I have to say, I don't know if I should say this, but I should be at the West Ham game away. Jeez. So we have West Ham away, Nottingham Forest at home, Newcastle away, Man City, and Arsenal. Now, Zeus, I don't know. Do you want me to give you my thoughts?
Yeah.
Or do you want to go ahead and give
go ahead?
You go. So I think Tottenham take 15 points. I don't know why you're laughing. I don't know why you're laughing. And let me tell you why I think we take 15 points. So first and foremost, when you're looking at that run, you're looking at the last 3 games being the dodgiest games. You're looking at Newcastle, Man City, and Arsenal, and you're saying, can Tottenham handle those teams in a row? Well, I have to remind you that we slapped up Newcastle 4-1. We won away to the Etihad with a depleted team. We got a 3-3 draw. And we played Arsenal off the park in their own backyard. So we managed to take 5 points from those last 3 teams. We obviously beat Forest as well away, and we lost to West Ham at home, but we didn't have the same squad we have now. So going forward, one thing I've seen is that when we play the big guns, the big boy teams this season, we are up for it. It's the minnows that we don't seem to care about. The Fulhams of this world, the Brightons, the Bournemouth, Palace. If we get out of bed and we win, great. If we don't win, we're not, I think Tottenham need to just start treating every team with respect, to be honest. I think the West Ham game, because West Ham are always hyped about playing us, they're going to do some dusty fouling. Emerson's going to get on our nerves. And then, we're just going to just pump them because West Ham, they're just fully dusty. I mean, this team drew at home to bloody Burnley. They allowed Burnley to go 2-0 up. So this whole thing that West Ham at the London Stadium, light work. Who's that lighty? Who's that lighty? Who's that lighty? Who's that lighty? Light work, West Ham. Nottingham Forest, I think I prefer Nuno's Forest than under the other brother because Nuno's Forest are less physical and they actually try and play football. And if they try and play football at our ground, they're going to get slapped up. So that's another 3 points. So that's 6. Newcastle could be a dodgy game. I'm not going to lie. I think we'll have too much for them. I think Newcastle, they have players coming back, but this season's been a disaster season. And to be honest, the Newcastle board are waiting to get Eddie Howe out. Don't be surprised if Eddie Howe ain't even in the job come the time that we play them, in my opinion. So I don't think Newcastle will have enough. It will be a tight game, but I think Tottenham can squeeze a little 2-1. City in our stadium. Let me remind everybody in the chat that City have not scored a Premier League goal. Oh, the City game is postponed. Okay, my bad. So there's no City. Cool. Brilliant. So then we deal with Arsenal.
When was that?
It's been postponed because I think of the FA Cup. It's the FA Cup is the reason why it's been postponed. So that means we've got Arsenal next.
And then Liverpool, right?
Yeah, Arsenal coming to our ground. We're going to slap that team up. One, because Postecoglou don't respect them. Arsenal got the pressure of the league. It's a North London derby. They're coming to our stadium. I mean, come on. And as long as we've got our full team, because Van de Ven is back after international, by the way. You know he's back here from next week, Van de Ven. So we're back to full strength. Richarlison's back now fully. Are you mad? Are you mad? Nah. It's long. It's long for Arsenal. So I expect us to beat Arsenal. So I expect Tottenham to beat West Ham, beat Nottingham Forest. So 12 points. I'm saying Spurs will get 12 in our next 4 games. What about yourself?
Yo, even Destiny 5 is
Destiny agrees.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. Okay, so West Ham is always a dodgy game. Always. I don't care what anybody says. I remember being up 2-0, cruising, and they came back to win 3-2. And that's happened like a few times. So that game, I think we could drop points there. Forest.
Where? Which game? West
Ham. Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
Have you seen how dusty that West Ham team is this season?
Yeah, but it's like I said, bogey team, man. They always kind of do it to us, so I'm not writing them off. Forest.
Do you know, I watched a couple of West Ham's games. It was so dusty that they reminded me of my history lesson about Tutankhamun. It's because of West Ham. That's how dusty that team has been. Dusty.
What position are they?
So I'm surprised you think that.
Yeah, it's just one of those psychological things, man. So West Ham, where are they? They're probably what, like mid? Oh, they're 7th, man. That's even better than I thought. I thought they were more mid-table. But so I have question marks about that game. My favorite could drop points there. Like, I gotta be honest. Forest, we should beat. Newcastle, we should beat. Arsenal. I mean, to be like I said, I think they're going to be so charged for that game and prone to mistakes, and our tails are going to be up for that as well. So we could win that one too. Hopefully, it's kind of like one of those. Is it a battle of the bridge, like the fallout from the game, and they have tons of injuries and
they're coming to our gaff. Yeah. Bro, I swear down though, if Arsenal beat us at our stadium,
yeah, the season is theirs.
Apart from the season being theirs, I would almost go as far as it could be blasphemy, bro. I think Postecoglou has done a great job, but if we lose to Arsenal at home,
everything's gone.
That's a serious question mark on Postecoglou.
But it's a derby, man. It happens.
Yeah, but that for me is he can't afford to lose that. Draw. We can take a draw. I'd be disappointed with a draw. But if he lost to that Arsenal team,
They're
Me
leading the
personally,
league.
I'll start looking at managers already. I will start looking at managers because that is
That's very harsh, very harsh, very, very,
I'm
very.
just we can't lose. I don't want to put pressure on the Spurs players. I'm hoping they'll be motivated to play, but we can't be losing to Arsenal at home. That would really, really just jar me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So,
I mean,
so how many points? So you're saying that we could get 10 points?
2 wins for sure. 6. No, more like 8. No. Well, maybe 3. Yeah, we're gonna. Okay, yeah, okay. We could lose the West Ham game and win the rest. Let's go with.
Can you see that, Arsenal fans? Can you see that? Can you see my boy Zeus? He's basically saying we're more likely to lose to West Ham than to Arsenal. Let that sink in.
It's facts, man.
He's got more respect for West Ham than he does Arsenal. Zeus, that's why you're my bro. That's why you're my bro. You don't see us losing to you're more worried about West Ham than you are Arsenal. Big up.
Gotta be real.
Artillero says Steve Harvey doesn't have hair, you bozo. Okay.
That's Steve Harvey. I guess they're saying that. Actually, no, I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what all I know is that Artillero looks like Steve Harvey. I can tell by the way he types. This guy, him and Steve Harvey have the same size nose. You know what I mean? It's like that. You get me? The nose is getting in the way when he's bashing on the keyboard. That's what's going on here. So we know what you're saying, bro. We know what you're saying. We got this. So Zeus is saying that Spurs to take 9 points in the next 4 games. I'm saying Spurs to get 12 points. Now, Zeus, if we get 9 points minimum, where are you expecting Spurs to finish this season? Because you were saying just moments ago that you don't mind even if we fell out of this kind of top 4 race, we could be finishing 6th, 7th. You said it would still be acceptable. But if we are to get 9 or 12 points in these next few games, what's your kind of prediction for where Spurs will finish?
I guess 4th. Like, I mean, it's looking like top 5 gets you champs, right? Which is, I guess, good. But most likely we could finish 4th. 4th. 4th will be locked in if we do that kind of run. And it's a bit of a, how do I say, dull end to the season because you're just locked into the 4th place and not much to play for. But that's kind of what it looks like it's ending up to be. So 4th place. I mean, I think if we do well with this one,
3 games though, if Arsenal lose 3 games, you know it's game on.
In terms of what? Like we could pass them? We could finish what, 3rd?
Yeah.
Yeah, but to be like to me, 3rd, 4th, there's no. I mean, maybe you get a few. Maybe get like quid. Yeah, exactly. It's like, you know, like I said, I'm getting to the point where it's title or nothing. Like win, or it's not about just making champs. Like that's cool.
That's what Postecoglou said.
Yeah, it's not about that. It's more about okay, let's start winning these tournaments, right?
Cool. No, I've got a question. You know, the Assembled is a good friend of ours.
Yo,
he's always
sorry, I got it. I'll be right back.
Yeah, the Assembled has said, question: are you expecting Spurs to win the league this century? I'm expecting Spurs to win the league in the next 3 years. In the next 3 to 4, Spurs will win the Prem before 2030. Okay, you've heard it here first. Please clip it because when it comes back, I need you to come back. Today's date is the 23rd of March, 2024. Spurs will win the Premier League before 2030. Mark my words, the Assembled. And I want you to clip this so that you can make reference to it when we do. Destiny 5, how can we be title challengers after 6 months with a new manager? Arsenal come on, Destiny, I've been saying that. I don't know, but that's how you know the Arsenal fan base is scared because they are measuring us with the same stick that they're measuring their club. But our manager's only been in charge 5 minutes and their manager's been in charge 5 years. That just shows you that our rivals are panicking right now. They can see the progress that our club has made, our club, our beloved Tottenham Hotspur, and they know that were coming for them. This season, wherever we finish, just know that Postecoglou is finishing higher next season. That one I can tell you for sure. Destiny says he's watched Arsenal bottle a 12-point lead last season, and there's more where that came from, because I can see Arsenal doing it again. And really, the real die-hard Arsenal fan, the north sides of this world, they're not shaking their bum whatsoever because they've seen this movie before. I noticed, Zeus, that there is a negative correlation between Arsenal and Easter eggs. As soon as Easter comes around and they've seen the Easter bunny, that's when Arsenal start flopping the show. Don't blame me. But it was around about Easter when the wheels fell off last season, and I'm predicting it will be around about Easter when the wheels falls off for Arsenal this season. He says, I will deep fry you when we beat you. Artillero, I don't know where you are. I don't know if you're in the UK. I don't know if you're in the US. I don't do watch-alongs, but I would love to do a watch-along with you for the North London Derby. You and your twin brother, Social 101. Yeah. I would love for us to do but don't go hiding your face. Oh, don't go doing the little blank screen thing. We want to see your face when the goals go in. So make sure you guys are about. So that is it. The blueprint. If Spurs can get 9 points minimum, then we know that we're pretty much guaranteed top 4. We've got no respect. Zeus is respecting West Ham. I am not. I say we slap up West Ham, slap up Forest, slap up Newcastle, slap up Arsenal. Zeus is saying the West Ham game is probably the dodgiest of the lot. He may have a point there because West Ham are always motivated when they play Spurs. But get 9 points, and I think Spurs are guaranteed top 4. And that caps off a remarkable season. So Zeus, final comments before we leave tonight. And big up to everyone in the chat, MS Live, Tillero, Destiny 5. It's been popping off tonight. We finish in the top 4. Is that like winning a trophy for Spurs this season, given the circumstances? I think you're on mute.
I was on mute. No. It's not the same. It's a very good sign that the manager's, he knows what he's doing. And I think that's, just take it as that. Don't equate top 4 with winning the trophy. It's okay. It's a sign that you have a good manager, but you still need to do a lot of work to be competitive and consistently challenge for the top honors, right? So it's great, but at the same time, to me, like I said, if you finish 6th or 5th, it's not like I'm not gonna be like, if he qualifies for Europa only, I'm not going to discredit him. I'm treating them as the same. You qualify for Europe, cool.
Say that again. That last bit.
I'm just saying that it's cool if you do it, but you don't want to fall into that Arsene Wenger trap of like, we finished top 4. It's the same as a trophy kind of thing. It's not. You didn't win it. So to me, it's not a trophy. It's a sign that we have a good manager. We have a good base to build from.
Big up. Now, respect. Arsenal, man, let me just deal with your point. I said 15 points because I thought that the Man City game was included. My eyes was deceiving me. I realized that actually that game's been postponed for the Man City game. So I've gone with 12 points. I think Spurs win the next 4 games. And that includes your dusty club, Arsenal, in that equation. Zeus, who's been consistent throughout this whole time we've been doing the blueprint, has gone with a more conservative 9 points, with the banana skin game being against West Ham. But both of us agree that we will slap up your dusty club. So just let that sink in. And as for Artillero, who's just been bashing away on his keyboard, I swear, Dan, you must be some sort of 15-year-old kid, the way you've got energy to be bashing away. He says that I want to deal with, this quick point. His brother says, Deji, you need to check yourself into a clinic. Social 101, you've been to that clinic, mate. You've been there. We don't know you've been there. So, Artillero, you make this point. You say, we're measuring you on the same stick you said yourself that you go toe-to-toe with us. Listen, because clearly you got airwax. I said Tottenham's first 11 go toe-to-toe with Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City. Our first 11. That's not something that you guys should be proud of. Yeah, in our first season, that I can confidently say with chest, we go toe-to-toe with your clubs. So that is a bonus from Ange Postecoglou, from the good work that he has done this season with this squad, that at this early stage, we believe that when we were to play you on the pitch, we go toe-to-toe, and it's testament by the results. We beat Liverpool, we drew with you, we drew with City. You get me? So we've shown that actually on our day, we can compete with the best. Now, also, it is his first season, bro. So even though I believe that he's maneuvered things, he's changed things around, that we can go toe-to-toe, that doesn't take away the fact that he's still only been in the job 5 minutes, my guy. So just relax yourself and hush your gums. Both can still apply. He's been in the job 5 minutes, but he's also worked some miracles. You should be more ashamed that Tottenham can go toe-to-toe. You should be more ashamed that when we came to your gaff, you guys got a draw and then started blaming it on the fact that Basmati Rice wasn't on the pitch. That's what you guys said. With 5 years worth of work under Arteta, Basmati wasn't on the pitch. I swear Basmati just arrived this season, but that's your excuse for not winning the game. So, boom. For me, because this season is very much test and learn, any positives that Tottenham take from this season, that's exactly what it is. It's a positive. It's a bonus. You heard it from Zeus. I agree. Beginning of this season, I was even saying that 8th would have been good enough, provided that we were playing better football than what we were doing under Conte. So I would have taken the same position, finish, but better playing style. So anything above that is a bonus. And if we slap you up in the process, even better. It's more shameful on you than it is us. We're in our first season. Last 1-2 comments. Sorry, I got a bit of a cough. Sorry. Big up. Yeah. All right. Well, big up everyone. Everyone being in the building. Social 1 and world. Big up to you, Artillero. Destiny 5. LMS Live. Sorry, guys. I've got a bad cough. I've been ill all week. AFC Always. The Assembled. Arsenal Manic. All the people them. Thank you for joining us tonight. And we will see you next week, Monday. We'll be coming with Say It With Chest, where I'll be getting one of your cronies from Arsenal to join me on the show to see if he's still pumping chest before your game against City. Everyone, enjoy your weekend and good night.
It's a vibe, juice poured up, and I know it's a vibe. Like rolling with a animal vibe. Said I need more drink inside of me, like bring more cup. Cause right now it's a vibe. Dano, yeah. Dano, yeah. Dano, yeah. Dano, it's a vibe. Dano, it's a vibe. Dano, yeah. Dano, it's a vibe.
Toby.